Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Thursday. How is your day going? I hope it's been fantastic. We are definitely fully in winter weather now, and it's crisp and it's cold. Actually, it's freezing. But I will say I'm not mad about getting to pull out my sweaters and get all cozy. Um, Today, at the end of this special style snack, I will be announcing the winner of the Shop Your Closet Challenge gift card giveaway. It's a $100 Kendra Scott gift card. I just love her jewelry. I own quite a bit of it, and this isn't sponsored. I paid for the gift card. They don't know I'm doing it. I just like it, and jewelry fits everyone, and it's a great way to finish off an outfit and make you feel put together and pretty. And so that I'll be announcing the winner of that at the end of this. Every outfit was an entry, and yeah, so we have our lucky winner, and I can't wait to tell you. And this is a special style snack because this is the week that the doors to the society are open. They only open once a season for 9 days, and this is the only time this winter that you can join the Stunning Style Society, get the Stunning Style Classic Wardrobe Guide, the Winter 2020 version, access to the custom curated shopping portal, the outfit calendars, there's one every month, the style steps, where I walk you through the process of curating your seasonal wardrobe, and access to the exclusive Facebook group. It's every season there are people who put it off, and they think they're going to sign up on the last day, and then they miss out, and they're very sad because they have to wait another season. After this, the doors close and it's back to the waiting list. So just trust me. Oh, you can't hear me? Is Connie the only one who can't hear me, or can anybody else not hear me? Well, no, I know Maddie can hear me because she commented, "Someone will love that gift card. Thank you for all you do." So, Connie, it might be your volume. Vicky can hear me. Okay. So, and so can Shannon. Thank you, ladies, because it wouldn't be the first time something has gone wrong with my microphone. Sometimes my girls like to play with it. Sometimes I move things around and I forget to plug it back in. It could have been me, very legitimately. So yes, all of you can hear me. Thank you so much. So the society, this is the only time you can join this season, and I don't want you to wait until the last day and forget, because I've done this, and then you miss out on winter because it's such a good one this time. It's one of my favorites, and the theme of it is cozy and chic. I don't usually have a theme, like a Halloween party theme or something, but as I was creating this guide, I just kept thinking about what's coming up this winter and what do you need. You need comfortable, you want to feel cozy, but you still want to look put together and nice, but just keeping in mind that realism of what this winter is probably going to look like for most of us. And also keeping in mind that this isn't a one-hit wonder. These guides are to help you build a seasonal wardrobe that you will want to wear next year and the year after. It's not about just getting you something for this season and done. So we're playing the long game here. And in that vein, there is a lot going on. Life is different this winter for most of us. And we talked a little bit about this on Tuesday, beating the winter blues. I changed my topic for that day, and I changed it for today too, because this just feels really important to me. And I'll say, I said it last time, and several of you reached out to me to say that it meant a lot to you that I addressed the very real fact that winter is already a hard time for a lot of us. The holidays can be a very hard time for us, and that depression is a real thing. So I want to start with the same message, that if you struggle with depression, please get help. Please call your doctor. Please reach out to people who love you, friends, family. Talk to a coworker. Talk to someone. If you're feeling depression, if you're experiencing depression, there is help. Depression is a liar, and it tells you you're all alone and that nobody cares. And it's not true. So ask for help. There's no shame in it. You're not weak. There's nothing wrong with you. It's no different than someone with an autoimmune disease, or there's nothing wrong with you. You're not a failure. You're not faulty. And you can be helped. You can get help. Your doctor can help you. And if the first step is to reach out to a friend who can hold your hand and help you get to the doctor, or a loved one or somebody, then do that. Anyway, I didn't expect to, and I don't have any tissues. So the winter blues can be range from feeling blah, just, I don't like this. I just don't feel like doing anything, to very, very serious depression. Seasonal affective disorder is very real. The lack of sunshine, the lack of contact, the holidays can be very hard for people. It can make you feel very lonely. You miss people who are gone. It's just a really hard time. It's a great time. It's a hard time. And this winter, I feel like, can be potentially even harder because of where we're headed. A lot of us are potentially headed toward another lockdown, or just even stricter social distancing, some variation of that. And the disappointment that comes with not being able to celebrate the holidays the way we're used to. And so I wanted to talk more about beating the winter blues today. And it's not what I had planned to talk about today, but it just feels important. So there are a lot of ways you can do that, but today I want to focus on starting your day right. And it has everything to do with being intentional. So a couple of years ago, my husband came to me and said, "Hey, I signed us up for yoga." I can always tell what I'm thinking by my face. If you could have picked the 6 words I never thought would come out of my husband's mouth, those would be top of the list. He's like a dude. He's a soccer player. He loves camping, not glamping, like camping. Tent, no tent, whatever. Backpacking trips, like hiking and all the nature. But yoga? What? You want to what? I wasn't that interested. I thought yoga was for vegans and people who smell like patchouli. And I don't qualify on either count. I just didn't think it was for me. I thought I would be bored, to be quite honest. To say I wasn't excited would be an understatement. But he convinced me, and it took a few classes, not that many, but I was hooked. And one of my favorite parts of yoga, I have a million, we could talk about that all on its own. But one of my favorite parts is the beginning, where we set an intention. The teacher will bring one to share, or she invites you to set your own, and they're so powerful. I'm not a woo-woo kind of person, I'm a very not woo-woo kind of person, but Intentions are so powerful. And this concept isn't exclusive to yoga. If you read any kind of books, well, good books about how to succeed at something, succeed in business, succeed at weight loss, goal setting, anything like that, you will, you'll read about setting an intention of what you're trying to achieve or gain. And you can start your day with a formal intention, but then you follow that intention with actions. The point is to be intentional about setting your day up for success and positivity, which doesn't affect just you. Your positivity and intentionality throughout your day will spread to everyone around you, just like an antidote to a poison. With the state of the world right now, I feel like we're swimming in poison, anger and hatred and fighting and arguing and fear. And what's coming is scary to some of us. We need to be our own antidotes. And if we can spread that to others, all the better. And so I just wanted to share a few easy and effective ways to set your intention for the day. Start your day right so that this winter can be a good one, a great one. It may not be the winter we had planned or the one we would choose, but we can choose for it to be great anyway. So, if you've been around at all, if you know me at all, can you guess what my very first tip is? Put it in the comments if you think you know what it is. I know some of you will know what it is. My very first tip to start your day right and beat the winter blues is to get dressed. I can hear you now. I can hear you. April, have you been living under a rock? The world is shutting down. We're about to be stuck at home for the next few months. We're not going anywhere. Why does it matter if I'm wearing yoga pants or an outfit as long as I'm not naked and walking in front of the windows where someone might see? Did you ever see that movie, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? It's an oldie but a goodie. And Leonardo DiCaprio always tells people goodbye, and Johnny Depp is trying to explain to him that goodbye is when you're going somewhere and we're not going anywhere. And Leonardo DiCaprio likes to chant that. We're not going anywhere. No, we're not going anywhere this winter probably. But it still matters. It matters. You are setting an intention for the day to be productive and energized. Pajamas say it's sleepy time, it's relaxed time. Everything can wait. Getting dressed tells your brain it's go time. Let's make breakfast. The dog needs a walk. If you're working from home, even if no one sees you, you will be much more productive and not fall behind, because that work still has to get done, right? Or get fired because you're not doing a good job. That is something nobody needs right now. Taking a few minutes to put on real clothes is also sending a message of self-worth and value to yourself and those around you. I get dressed for myself. I don't do it for you. I did this before we ever met. I did this before I had a business. I have been getting up and getting dressed for as long as I can remember. I never went to my college classes in my pajamas. Never. And when I came home with premature triplets, I still got it. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but I got up and got dressed. It changed everything. Taking a few minutes to put on real clothes is sending a message of self-worth and value to yourself, which is most important. You need to know that you are valuable and worthy and worth 20 minutes to get dressed. I'm not talking about getting wedding day dressed, right? Most of us are not getting married today. Just put on some clothes. It takes no more time to put on a cozy sweater and some comfortable jeans than it does to put on yoga pants and your husband's high school soccer sweatshirt. It sends that value of self-worth, or that message of self-worth and value, to everyone around you. I do this for myself. I feel better. My day goes better, and it affects my self-esteem. When you walk past the mirror, I mean, there are mirrors everywhere. You walk into the bathroom, there's a mirror. You walk through your bedroom, there's a mirror. I have one in my entry. Even you catch your reflection in the glass and the windows in your house. And you walk past that mirror and you see yourself. You're wearing something put together. Like I said, we're not talking fancy. You don't have to wear a business suit or an evening gown or your very best going out outfit, just something nice. It can be a nice t-shirt and jeans, a cozy sweater and jeans. Your hair is brushed. It doesn't have to be your very best curling job that takes an hour and a half. Just brushed, maybe in a ponytail, like myself, a headband. This is my, I keep getting compliments on my hair. I'm getting sidetracked here. I haven't finished my sentence, but I keep getting compliments on wearing my hair up like this. Someone said it again on Instagram last night. I said, thank you, but this is actually my please, can I just one more day and I swear I'll wash my hairdo. This is my I don't want to wash my hair today hairdo. But it still looks nice. It looks nice enough that I get a lot of compliments on it. It takes me approximately 60 seconds to do this. But it looks nice. It doesn't have to take a long time to have a nice hairstyle. Maybe you're wearing a little makeup. So let me say the whole sentence like cohesively. You walk past the mirror wearing something that looks nice and put together. It can be comfortable and cozy. Your hair is brushed. Maybe you've got a little makeup on if you like to wear makeup. Not everybody does. And you smile and you think, I look nice. What does that do for you? It boosts your day. It makes you feel better. It increases your self-esteem. It feels nice. That's a happy moment deposited in your happiness bank account. When you walk past the mirror in pajamas or yoga pants or grubbies, your hair's a mess and you look like you just woke up and it's 2 p.m, what thoughts do you think are going through your head? I am such a slob. I hate the way I look. I should just go back to bed. I hope nobody sees me. What do you think that kind of self-talk does to your self-esteem? What do you think it does to your day? What does it do to your week or your year? Our thoughts are everything. And the way we talk to ourselves, even when we're not conscious of it, I call them underthoughts. It's just this current of thoughts that are running underneath our more noticeable thoughts. They are everything. It doesn't have to take long. When your self-esteem is in the tank, that can spiral into depression and anxiety, or it can just be that one more heavy thing on your head that pushes you under the water just a little further. 20 minutes, 10 minutes. I have a 5-minute get ready routine, a 10-minute get ready routine, a 20-minute is the 20 to 30. Like if I focus, don't get distracted, I can do it in 20 minutes. At 6 a.m. I'm moving a little slower and sometimes it takes me 30. Just because my eyes are still half closed and I'm not quite we're moving at full speed. But it's just it and I have a 2-hour get ready routine. I could easily spend 2 hours just slowly doing whatever. But anything makes a difference. And because I shower at night, the very first thing I do when I get out of bed is I put on my clothes. It takes less than 2 minutes. Right there is an 80% improvement. It takes 2 minutes because I just look at the outfit calendar that's part of it comes with the wardrobe guide and the Stunning Style Society. I see what we're wearing that day. I grab my clothes and I get dressed. Just like that. I have a quick makeup routine. I can do a 2-minute, or this is my 5-minute. Well, this is probably a 7-minute routine. I have a 5-minute makeup routine. I can add or subtract. I know what my bare minimum is. In fact, today, Kim posted in the society about how she got an unexpected call into work. She's been working remotely. She grabbed the outfit on the calendar, did a 2-minute makeup routine, and she was out the door in just a few minutes. And what a lifesaver that was. And she posted a picture. She was fabulous. Her minimal makeup routine was perfect. Perfect. It doesn't have to be wedding day makeup. So I deserve 20 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get ready every day and look nice every day. I'm not getting married today. I'm not going to the prom or the Oscars or wherever. I'm not going on TV to be interviewed by Oprah. I just want to look presentable, put together. And I deserve to show up for myself that way. It is an act of self-care and self-love, and it makes all the difference in how I feel every day. You deserve to look and feel great every day. And it doesn't have to be hard. Like I said, don't get stuck in that all or nothing mentality. If I'm not doing the whole thing, then I will do nothing. And it's one of the reasons members love the classic wardrobe guides and the outfit calendars, because I've done all the work for them. I picked your outfit every day. You don't have to wear it, but most of them do. I do most of the time. And pretty much my entire life, I've gotten up and gotten dressed every day just because I feel better. And, I told you that when I came home with the triplets, that I still got up and got dressed. We were quarantined for 6 months because of RSV, which can kill a premature baby. They're very susceptible. And we weren't going anywhere. I went nowhere. The only place I ever went was to pediatrician appointments. And I still got dressed. I mean, why bother? Why bother if we weren't going anywhere? And, when I came home and I was still doing this, some well-meaning people who love me very much were like, you need to focus on other things. You shouldn't be doing that. You should spend that 20 minutes sleeping. You're already sleep deprived. Why are you taking the time for this? And so for 2 days, I decided not to get up and get ready. Take that extra 20 minutes. And I'll show you a picture. I have a picture of one of those 2 days. I felt awful. Those 2 days, the crying was louder. The diapers were poopier. I was even more tired than the days I got up an extra 20 minutes early to get dressed. Everything was worse. I hated it. I felt awful. I felt awful. It did not improve my day to get that extra 20 minutes of sleep. I couldn't take it. And so I went back to what I usually did, which was I would put on, I really didn't have hardly any casual clothes at all. I mostly had corporate professional wear. This is a picture I just a few days later. This was their 0 birthday. This was their due date. They were 9 weeks premature. And so we celebrated on their due date. And that's a sweater, just it was a cotton sweater, and I was probably wearing some chinos. Looks like I'm wearing some lipstick and some mascara. I probably had on maybe a little eyeliner, maybe not. And I had a headband in my hair. I have naturally curly hair. Sometimes I wear it that way, sometimes I don't. This was a naturally curly stage. And so I didn't spend a lot of time. I even put on earrings. They weren't old enough to grab my earrings yet, so it was safe back at that point. But I felt so much better this day. I wasn't wearing anything fancy. I remember that sweater was from Casual Corner. Do you remember Casual Corner? And I got it on clearance. But I felt so much better. Here's another one I found. Most of the days I wore, so that was right after they came home. They're still pretty little in this picture, but this is what I wore a lot of days. It was a t-shirt. Well, 2 t-shirts. It was wintertime. I didn't have any clothes. I didn't have any casual clothes. So I was cold. So I layered up with 2 t-shirts and some chinos, and I had a hoodie, a zip-up hoodie sweater, a navy one. It was cable knit that I would wear too, because I didn't have any casual clothes. I was cold. This is December. So and another headband. I like headbands. So this is what I wore most of the time. Was I going to make headlines or fashion history in this outfit? No. No, but I looked nice. I look nice here. There's nothing that I look at here and think, ooh, just a t-shirt and some chinos. Socks in case I put my sneakers on. So those are the only casual shoes I had. I had a headband in, my hair was done, and I had some makeup on, and I just felt better. Today I'm just wearing a sweater and jeans and a headband. Again. But it doesn't have to be crazy fancy. Just put on some real clothes and you will feel better. And so those days I wore a t-shirt, I wore chinos, I did my hair. So if I straightened it, or even if I didn't straighten it, sometimes it was just in a ponytail. I'd put on a little makeup and suddenly everything was less hard. The babies still cried and they had poopy diapers by the thousands and constant reflux, and they were still on heart monitors, and they still took 3 hours to feed all 3 of them. They were so hard to feed. They still kept me up all night, but I could handle it better because I felt better. I could not have handled those first 6 months of motherhood in isolation, of premature triplets in pajamas. I couldn't have. I would have spiraled. This I needed. So I hope you can tell that I feel so strongly about how important it is to get up and get dressed. It will change your life, I promise. And I've had comments and emails and DMs from so many of you that have tried it and it made a difference for you. And I know it makes some of you very mad at me, and that's okay, because there are others of you that it has helped. This isn't about being down on anybody else. You're a grown up. You can make your own choices. No one is judging you. I'm just sharing what helps me and has helped so many of you. And I'm willing for some of you to be mad at me about it. So my next tip is to get a dose of positivity. While I'm getting ready, those first 20 or 30 minutes in the morning, I like to listen to a dose of positivity and get my brain going the right direction first thing. If you've never listened to the Life Coach School podcast by Brooke Castillo, it's amazing. Her episodes are usually 20 to 30 minutes, which is perfect. That's about how long I need. And they are such a boost. They get my brain on track for exactly how I need to be thinking that day. If you've never listened to her podcast, just start with episode 1 and go from there. Everyone I have ever recommended this to has thanked me. I've mentioned it on here many times. It is life-changing. You can start your day with a devotional, which can be religious or not religious. Reading your scriptures, prayer, meditation, those are all excellent ways that I like to start my day as well. And Brooke Castillo's is not the only great podcast out there. I love Brene Brown's podcast. There are tons of great podcasts out there. That happens to be my favorite. And starting your day that way, I'm amazed that what I read that day in my devotional or in my scriptures is just what I needed. And I'll set an intention about what I'm struggling with before I read as well. And then my brain focuses in on the message I'm looking for. You find what you're looking for. And I find the messages I'm looking for when I set an intention before I read. The next tip is drink some water and hydrate. That might sound duh or silly, but you get very dehydrated when you sleep, and especially in the winter because we have the heater. Our heating systems are dry air and it pulls the moisture out of you, and dehydration makes you feel tired and sluggish and slow. And I fill my water bottle with ice water the night before, and I leave it on my night table or on my bathroom counter, and I drink water as soon as I get up. I'm very thirsty, and if you don't think you're thirsty, get a drink and start drinking, and you'll realize you're very thirsty. In the winter, warm lemon water is also a great way to start your day. It warms you up, and that lemon is a nice little zing, or some peppermint tea is also really nice, but water, it'll make such a difference. My next tip to start your day and avoid or help beat the winter blues is take your vitamin D. It is practically impossible to get enough daylight in the winter months to produce enough vitamin D. And it's hard to get enough from your food. Between the cold weather keeping us inside most of the time, the minimal amount of your skin that's exposed to the sun when we're outside in the freezing weather, the short daylight hours, and the sun sitting lower in the sky, we are chronically low on vitamin D, especially in the winter. Vitamin D is essential for energy levels, mental well-being, and immune system support, among other things, but it's very easy to get in a supplement. And I take vitamin D every day. It makes such a difference. Almost everyone, if you went and got a blood test, your doctor would say you are very low in vitamin D. And you would be surprised at what an impact it can make just taking that one supplement every day. My next tip is to get some movement. When we're staying home as much as we're probably about to, it's hard to get enough movement. Last spring when we were in lockdown, not only did I miss going to my yoga classes, which was my primary source of exercise, I realized how much movement was missing because my daily life had shut down. Walking to and from my car, in and out of the stores, back and forth from my neighbor's house, running errands, shuttling my kids. It all added up to movement that got me out of my chair and away from my desk. And it was so hard to get some extra movement. I made myself go up and down the stairs more. Instead of being like, I'll get that later, I would go, or hollering down or up the stairs to my kids. I know. I do. I mean, I started going up and down the stairs to talk to them, which is such better manners, right? To do that. But I was finding any way I could to move. And I started doing some exercise that I could at home. I had also just sprained my ankle, so that also had me fairly immobile. But finding a way to get some movement in your life, it doesn't have to be long or intense. I'm not talking about doing P90X, right? It's not an hour and a half or 2 hours of cardio. And I mean, it can be. You look killer by the end of the winter if you were doing that. But it doesn't have to be that. just get some movement in your day, which ties into my next tip, which is get outside. If we're not going anywhere, like, there were literally days last spring I did not step outside. And my husband would say, when was the last time you went outside? And I'd be like, I don't remember. I mean, it was that plus the sprained ankle plus. And he'd be like, you've got to go outside, go stand on the porch even. And my husband and I started a daily ritual of going on a walk together. Once my ankle was okay. Well, I was still in my boot, actually, when we first started walking. We needed to get outside. We needed to move our arms and legs, breathe some fresh air, get a change of scenery. And I crave feeling the sun on my skin. I crave it like a drug. I just want to feel the sun on my skin, even if it's freezing outside. These weren't power walks. I mean, I was in a boot. I had just sprained my ankle. We were leisure strolling, but it made such a difference in our days. And I know the weather isn't ideal in the winter, but bundle up and go outside anyway. Walk a few laps around the neighborhood. That's all we did. We just walked around the neighborhood and we'd mix it up. Sometimes we go that way around the block, and other days we go this way around the block because we are crazy like that. But we would notice the flowers that were coming up. We would wave to people from a distance. We would talk about things. It was just such a nice thing, and we're going to have to start that again. It's been super chaotic since we moved, and every last minute has been filled with just getting settled. But I miss that time with him, and I miss that ritual, and now more than ever, we're going to need that excuse to get outside. And it can help you with my next tip, which is make contact. The whole point of the shutdown is to avoid contact, but that kind of isolation can lead to very serious depression, especially if you live alone. And while we may not get the kind of contact we're used to or that we prefer, there are other ways. Combine it with getting outside and stand in your yard and shout to your friend across the street. My in-laws have been very strictly quarantined because they're very high risk. But they came to our house a few times last spring and summer to visit. They would stand on the sidewalk by the street, and we stood more like 12 feet away. I mean, we were way more than 6 feet away on the sidewalk by our porch, and we had to shout a little bit, to be heard. But it was just so nice to see them. And it was so nice for them to get out of the house and see us. They would go on drives in the canyon. It's been hard for them. And you can still make an appointment with your friend to have a very socially distanced encounter. For my birthday, one of my very dear friends and I met at a park. We brought takeout and we had my traditional birthday dinner. We brought lawn chairs and we sat out in the park, spread out so that we could keep that tradition up. It was cold too. It was pretty cold, but it was worth it to see her in person. And just, we had to talk a little louder, but it worked. You can use FaceTime to have face-to-face phone calls and just see them. The people you love, your friends, your family. You can start a GroupMe chat with friends or family, and that group chat is a lot of fun when you can't chat together. You could join a Facebook group that's to connect with people who enjoy the same hobbies and interests that you do. In the Society Facebook group, which is exclusive to members of the Society, we were talking yesterday about how wonderful it was last spring to have a place where we can go and be with friends, and it still is, honestly. get away from all the negativity in the news and just talk about something that we all enjoy and something we're all working on, which is our winter wardrobes. And it's just a place to escape. And that's very, very helpful. You don't need to, I mean, it's good to stay informed, but there's no need to wallow in it. And it's everywhere right now. It's in our faces, and you can't, it feels like you can't get away from it. Well, we can get away from it in that group. There's no politics allowed. We don't discuss world events. We keep all of that outside because there's plenty of other places to talk about this. And here we connect with one another. It's basically the Shop Your Closet Challenge every day because we're dressing from the outfit calendars and shopping our closets and making them our own. And we're going through the style steps and sharing how we're building our winter, well, now it'll be winter wardrobes, right? Curating our wardrobes, going through our closets. We're working through these steps together because at the end, it comes to like there's a result. We're working toward basically cleaning out our closets and refining them to just be what we absolutely love. So, this community, all of you are so important to me. You are such a blessing in my life. And I really value this time that we spend together. It was even more important to me during the lockdown to have this time to connect with you and to share with you, to talk about something that was fun and to share things with you and step away from the negativity and the worries and the concerns. And I appreciate that you spend this time with me. It means a lot to me, and I hope it means something to you. And I hope that this has been a refuge to you. This is why I know some people don't like how strict I am about some of the rules in my community, but it's so important to me to keep this a positive, uplifting, safe space for everyone. And that is why I'm so strict about it. And if you love it here, you will really love it in the society. And I hope that you can join us there because it'll give you something to look forward to, something to enjoy, something to do. We work on these style steps together, and we're refining our style, refining our wardrobes. It also will it'll give you what's the word I'm looking for? Accountability, if you want it, to show up for yourself. Get dressed, show yourself some self-love that way, care about yourself. It gives you a place to reach out and have a community of friends and connect in that way. And it's such a positive space. I'm worried for my friends. I'm worried for you about this upcoming winter and how hard it could be. And so I want to offer what I have. And I just wanted to share some tips that I have from my own personal experience of starting your day off right to beat those winter blues and be a voice of embracing positivity. The last thing I want to share with you is because I mentioned Brooke Castillo. I mean, every single podcast that I listen to each one, honestly, like 3 or 4 times because they're so good. And I'm like, wait, what? Oh my gosh, I need to hear that. Wait, what? I need to hear it again. And I'll take notes and write things down. She has so many great quotes and just so many amazing thoughts. But I grabbed this one because I really liked it. You can live your life in reactive mode, or you can live a deliberate life where you plan what you want to do. So let's not react this winter. Let's live a deliberate life, make the best of what's coming. We can control some things, we can't control others, but we can choose a deliberate life. We can choose to plan what we want to do. And I hope that you can use some of these tips to choose to start your days off right, because how you start your day will reverberate through the rest of your day. And anyway, I just love this quote. And when I was making this quote meme, I was looking for a picture, and I loved this one. Her face is so happy. Her smile is so genuine. Like, she just looks happy, right? Her face made me happy. And I was like, ugh, should I be using a picture of Brooke Castillo? Because she's not Brooke Castillo, but I put Brooke's name on it. But her face just made me happy. And she's wearing little sequin jacket. Anyway, I like her face. And I think her face will make you happy too. So anyway, I hope you'll join us in the society. It's a place where you can have that positivity and that fun, and we'll encourage you to keep starting your day right together. You can go to stunningstyle.com/society to join us, and don't wait until the last day, because what if you forget? You can already start right now. Okay, let's take a look at the comments. Let's see. Maddie says, someone will love that gift card. Thank you for all you do. Oh, I've got to announce the winner of the giveaway. I got so excited about what I was doing. All right. The Shop Your Closet Challenge is over, and we are doing a $100 Kendra Scott gift card giveaway. I just love her jewelry. I should have worn something. I have several. I should have. But these earrings match the pattern in my sweater. You probably can't see it, but I have a diamond pattern cable net, and that's why I picked these. So, okay. Some interesting stats, just briefly. My husband pulled these together. So 1,200 people signed up for the challenge. That's awesome. And we had thousands of posts, of outfit posts, come through. There were 20,000 comments and 75,000 reactions to these outfits. And just in the vein of what we've been doing, I want you to think about those of you who participated in this Shop Your Closet Challenge, whether you're used to, maybe getting up and getting dressed is just part of your everyday ritual, in which case, let's just keep at it, right? But regardless, I want you to think about what this Shop Your Closet Challenge did for you mentally and emotionally. Was it a boost for you? Did it improve your day? And then, even though I know it's really, it takes a big act of courage and vulnerability to post your outfit in a group like this, how did that feel? After the scary, nauseating part, after you click post, how did it feel to get these comments and support and getting cheered on and these reactions, the thumbs up and the hearts and everything? Didn't that just, it's not a vain thing. It's not vain. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's like, oh, but I don't want people to think I'm showing off or bragging. You're not showing off or bragging. You're showing up and joining. You're participating. And you're engaging. It's interaction in a different way. It's not showing off to go play in a football game or to run a 5K or to show up to a volunteer thing. It's not showing off. You are participating. So I just want you to think about, how did it feel to participate like this, to have this sense of community, to participate in this challenge and the fun of it? What did that do for you? I would love to hear what your favorite part was and how that affected you. And then think about, you could have that every day for the rest of the winter, because that's what we do in the society. We share our outfits. We participate in an outfit challenge every day. We support each other. We give each other positive comments if they want it. We give each other feedback and help each other improve if it's asked for. And it's fun, that community and what we're doing. So it doesn't have to end. You can keep going and in the society, and just think about what kind of a boost this has given you, and do you want more of it? Okay. I was just my husband sent these over to me, and I hadn't really looked at them in advance because I was digging for these pictures back when the babies were little, and the 75,000 reactions, that just kind of makes my heart swell. That was 75,000 acts of support, love, friendship, and reaching out that happened in this 10-day challenge. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for supporting and loving each other that way. That makes me, I'm gonna get all like, you're gonna think I'm the biggest crybaby. I really hardly ever cry. I only cry on here and on my husband. You and my husband get to see me cry, but hardly anybody else sees me cry, just the thousands of you. Okay, so I just thought that was really, really interesting, and I'm glad he's shared that. So the winner of the challenge is Noelle Walker. So I want to thank all of you for participating, because that's the best part of it. But congratulations to Noelle Walker. Noelle, if you will email us at info@stunningstyle.com, we will send you your gift card electronically, and then you can buy whatever you want today if you want to. So congratulations to Noelle, and congratulations to all of you for all the fun that we've had with this challenge, and I'm so glad that you joined us. Okay, so Maddie, thank you for the comment. You totally reminded me. I almost forgot to announce it. Maddie says, the guide is amazing. This season is going to be warm and cozy and stunning for sure. Well, thank you, Maddie. Maddie certainly makes it stunning. We love to see her outfits. She is very colorful, and I like to see Maddie's outfits and the color. She's very bold, and she has a very distinct style that is just fun to see. It's the kind of thing that I wish I could wear, but I know myself well enough now that it wouldn't be me. But it's her version of classic, and her version of classic is very different than my version. Okay. Maddie says, it is so cozy, but also fashionable. Well, thank you, because you can have both. You don't have to choose between comfort and fashion, or cozy and being stylish. You don't have to pick. You can have both. Michelle sent me X's and O's. Thank you. Vicky says, so true. Oh, I think this is when I was talking about depression. Amy says, or it's the same as a broken arm. It is. And it's medically treatable. And so the person with a broken arm is not any less of a person because they have a broken arm and they seek medical treatment. And someone who's suffering for depression is not any less and shouldn't have any shame, and can seek medical treatment and get help. It can be fixed. Nancy says, thank you, April. I can tell this is heartfelt. I'm not wired to be happy in general. Everything you are saying is spot on. It is heartfelt, Nancy. I've been there. I've been in the deepest, darkest hole, and I know what it's like. So I just feel a lot of compassion for anyone who's struggling that way. And I'm sorry if you struggle that way too. And I hope you've gotten the help you need. Linda says, you're exactly right. Have been a mental health nurse most of my career. Medication is amazing. If you had high blood pressure, you'd take medication, right? Reach out if you need help. Absolutely, Linda. And no one would shame you for it. No one would tell you to just, get over it or whatever. You need help. You can get help. Susan says, so helpful. Good. I'm glad. Nancy says, get dressed, get dressed. You all guessed it. I knew you. It's the ones who've been around for a while. I mean, this is not a new message. One of the very first posts I ever put on my website was top 12 reasons I get dressed every day or something. And I have a whole, it's important to me. It's a message I've shared the whole time, and I don't apologize for it. I'll never apologize for it. You don't have to do it, but I believe in it, and I'll share that message for the rest of my life. I will. So I know you know me so well. Susan says, look your best despite. It's self-love. That's right. It is self-love, and you deserve it. Ruth Brown says, so true. Yes. Mirka says, this is so true. I've always dressed every day except for when I suffered from depression, and I do it for myself. It's the best tip to make you feel better and more efficient. You know, I mean, even when I was really struggling with depression, I still got up and got dressed just because I knew I would feel even worse if I didn't. I still felt awful, but I felt less bad than I would have if I had stayed in my pajamas all day. I just knew that would be what would push me over the edge. Like I couldn't not do that one last thing. The only time I don't get up and get dressed is if I am so sick I can't get out of bed. Otherwise, I do it. But Mirka, I'm sorry that you struggled with depression, and I hope you're feeling better now. Emily says, I do like your hair up. I know. I mean, I like my hair up too, but I'm telling you, I should have washed my hair and I just didn't. And so this is where we are today, but it still looks good. 2 minutes. It doesn't have to be your 1 hour hair routine. A Facebook user says, a few days ago, I was in a funk and my husband asked me what was wrong. He then pointed out I hadn't had a chance to change yet. This was around noon, and he was right. I feel so much better when I'm dressed and ready for the day. It really does affect you mentally in all the ways. Maddie says, I only wash my hair once a week. I so get you. It's best if I wash mine twice a week. This has been since Saturday. So I really should have washed my hair. Well, I really should have washed it yesterday. And then I definitely should have washed it today, but I'll wash it tonight. Probably. If it's up tomorrow, you'll know I didn't. That's okay. Maddie says Kim looked gorgeous. She did. Yeah. When we got a close-up selfie of her just like this, and she put on lipstick, and I saw the post really briefly this morning. I don't remember but it was basically lipstick and eyebrows maybe. She looked gorgeous. Yeah. Cynthia wants to know what color your hair is naturally. Yeah, every time I post these old pictures, I get that question. I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen my natural hair color. I was a strawberry blonde growing up, but I always wanted dark hair. It got darker as I got older, but not like this kind of dark, just kind of that uncolor. And so I started coloring my hair in college, but it turned red. No matter what I did, it turned red. Even when I accidentally colored it black once, and it was cherry cola, it was still red. And then I accidentally colored it magenta once. I was in college, so who cares if you have magenta hair? I just went with it. And after that, I was like, I'm tired of fighting with it. I'll just go with the red. And I just did for a long time. But and people loved it, and I did like it. And if I had naturally red hair, I would never color it. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. I stare. It's like the creepy stare when I see people with red hair. It's just like, oh. My brother's kids, several of them have red hair. But it's really high maintenance to color your hair red. And I just got sick of that. And I really just always wanted dark hair. And my stylist, I found a stylist who could get it. And there's still, in person, you can see there's still quite a red undertone to it. But this is just what I've always wanted. And now I'm almost completely silver from here forward. So I don't know. My hair's silver. That's what color my hair is now. mostly. Maddie says, look at you. You two look like babies with babies. How sweet. We did look like babies with babies, didn't we? We did. We felt like babies with babies. We weren't. I was 30 when they were born. So I wasn't a baby. Like I wasn't a young mom. Anyway, Adam still has that baby face. He's got that young face forever. A Facebook user said, I just told my husband these very things this morning, trying to encourage him. He's currently in a funk. It's 100% about showing yourself the proper amount of respect and getting dressed and ready for the day. It doesn't matter if no one else sees you. I think it makes a huge difference. I completely agree. And I will also say that when someone's in a funk, sometimes the best thing you can do is model behavior. And so maybe you listen to the podcast while he's in the room instead of saying you should listen to this podcast. Like, I want my kids to hear it. And they're like, I don't want to listen to your podcast. And so I'm like, well, when we're in the car together, you can't go anywhere, can you? And so I'll play the podcast in the car and they just love it. They don't love it, but I hope that it's soaking in some way. So, you can encourage and help and support. And I hope he can, and maybe what he really needs is a visit to the doctor's office. If it's more than a funk, maybe he needs medical intervention too. So, if some of these other things, that might be where you need to start. I don't know what he's experiencing or feeling, but he might need medical help. Laura says, how great that you look beautiful with both red and dark brown hair. Well, thank you. The red hair, I think, made my skin look reddier. I look better with dark hair, but I did really like the red hair. Michelle says, I love Life Coach School podcasts. They're so good, right? Janice says, Brooke is awesome. She really, really is. Wendy says, great idea. Is the Life Coach School kid-friendly? I'd like to play while we're sitting down in the morning before school starts. Mostly. She does swear some. Not usually. I mean, I listen to it with my kids around. And sometimes you can look at the topic and be like, maybe not. She used to be an alcoholic. And so she has podcasts where she talks about that. And, Wendy, I know your kids are young, so that might be a topic they're too young for. But overall, I think they're kid friendly. I listen to them with my kids around. But she does swear occasionally, sometimes. Cynthia says, how do you spell her last name? So Brooke with an E on the end, and then Castillo is Castillo. A Facebook user says, thanks for saying something about hydration. So essential. I drink 28 ounces to start my day. Coffee will dehydrate you. I had a doctor tell me that. It also helps the joints be flexible and fluid and moving well after a night's sleep. Thanks. Yes, coffee and soda are diuretics, meaning they dehydrate you. They pull water out of you. I don't drink soda very often. I don't ever drink coffee. Sometimes I'll drink Diet Coke for sometimes if I feel like a really intense headache coming on. The caffeine plus 4 Advil is sometimes the only thing that'll head it off. But if I do, I have to eat extra water or I'll get terrible muscle cramps in my feet and legs at night because it dehydrates me. I mostly just drink water. Sometimes I drink herbal teas and things. But yes, it's important to know. If you're a coffee drinker, it's dehydrating you. You need to drink extra water to make up for that. Or if you're a soda drinker, you need to be drinking extra water. It's sucking the water out of you. Facebook user says, my doctor has had me on vitamin D for years. Oh, I guarantee you, almost every single one of you, if you went and had a blood test, your doctor would say you need to be on vitamin D. Jenna says, Brooke Castillo at thelifecoachschool.com. Yes, you can. So you can listen to our podcast there. I listen to it on, you can listen to it on Stitcher is a podcast streaming app, iTunes. Most phones come with some kind of a podcast streaming app. Listening in, you can find them on her website, but I get the best experience by listening to it through a streaming app. Kachuska says, April, I can confirm that I am so much more productive. I'm working from home due to the pandemic when I get dressed up. I have 2 babies, but I take the time to even put a little makeup on. I feel great with red lipstick. It makes a huge difference in my mood and my day. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, it makes such a difference. Even when if you don't know this about me, I love to do yard work, like digging holes and trenches and shoveling mulch and planting. Oh my gosh, I love it. I really do. But even on those days, I brush my hair, I'll put it back, maybe something like this, and I put on red lipstick. It's powerful. It makes me feel powerful. I put on a Wonder Woman t-shirt. Got a graphic tee. It's red. I put on my red lipstick. I usually put on some mascara, and I put on my foundation because it has SPF in it to protect my skin. And it takes the same amount of effort to put this on as it does to put on sunscreen. And this has sunscreen in it. So, so even to do yard work, I just it's like 2 minutes of makeup, but the red lipstick makes me feel strong because, gosh, after shoveling all that mulch, I need it. Michelle says, had a heart transplant at the end of last year. I take a vitamin D calcium supplement 3 times a day. Yeah, you need it. And I hope your recovery is going really well. That's amazing that you were able to have that life-saving surgery. And I'm glad you're still here. And I hope the recovery is going well. A Facebook user says, I walk with my husband and or teen daughter or go to the gym at 6 a.m. every morning in Michigan. Oh, rain, snow, shine. It's sometimes the only time we can connect each day. She and I both suffer from depression and physical activity. Oh, it bumped up. Hold on. It moves when more comments, it makes it scroll up. Definitely keeps us happy. Oh, yeah. I mean, what's one of my very favorite quotes? Exercise gives you endorphins. Endorphins make you happy. And happy people just don't shoot their husbands. That's from Legally Blonde. If you want to pick me up, watch that movie. That one makes me laugh every time. But exercise, yes. The endorphins, I should have mentioned that. And it's great that you have that time to connect with your husband and your daughter. And, once they reach that teenage years, it's so much harder to find time with them. And you are a trooper for going at 6 a.m. in Michigan. A Facebook user says, hey, April, I'm wondering if your hair is naturally dark. I've seen pics of you with lighter hair. I was thinking, would that change your color palette? Oh, so I just explained the origins of my hair color. And no, it didn't change my color palette. These are always the colors I've looked best in, no matter what color my hair was. You are gorgeous, by the way. I love watching you. Well, thank you. You're gorgeous too. And I love that you're here talking with me. Mirka says, joining and being part of the society is the best thing that's happened to me this year. I have very few friends, and after I moved to Sweden, even fewer. So interacting with all the wonderful ladies means so much to me. It's a safe place I can go to get away from real life problems and talk about things that bring me and other members joy. Thank you so much, Mirka. And we love having you in there, and I really appreciate that. We love you. And I'm glad you're here. Dan says, just got up and got a huge glass of water. Good. Do you feel better? I bet you do. Nancy says, April, thank you. I'm in the process of clearing my dressing table. It needs to be a sacred space for getting ready and listening to Brooke Castillo. Great tips. That's a great little project. And, just have a nice little space where you can get ready. It doesn't have to be big or fancy. Just your own little spot, your own little corner. And I love that you've got a little dressing table. It's so fancy. I've always wanted one. And I guess I could put one in my, I don't know, But I love that idea. It feels very glamorous. Shannon says, whoa, those stats are awesome. I know, right? The 75,000 reactions, that just meant a lot to me. Nancy says, I have a gazillion Kendra Scott earrings. Obsessed with her earrings. Me too. I got COVID at the beginning of it and didn't do the challenge. Oh, Nancy, I'm so sorry. I hope you're feeling better. Up to 30% off right now and 50% off one item during your birthday month. I'm not sponsored by her, but I love her jewelry. I know. Yeah. So I was actually looking into this. There's a pair of earrings I wanted. And my friend told me about the 50% off. It's during your birthday month. It's not my birthday month. Like not for 6 more months. So I will definitely be taking advantage of that. Marilyn says, I love seeing everyone's creativity on their interpretation of the outfits. It creates such a sense of unity. I loved it. I'm so glad. And I loved it too. And it is like that creativity is contagious. Did you know that? For those of you who are like, I'm not creative. Well, hang around with other people who are being creative, because it's not about you are or you aren't. It's doing or not doing. So people who are being creative, when you are around people who are being creative, you can catch it. And it'll inspire you to start being creative. And that's one of the great things about society is we're just like being creative all around each other, and it rubs off. And then you're like, oh my gosh, well, her idea just gave me an idea and I could totally do that. Mm-hmm. Lynn here, those numbers are amazing, aren't they? I loved them. I'm so glad my husband pulled those up for me. That was so thoughtful. Carrie's excited. She says, woohoo. And everyone's saying, congratulations, Noelle. We're so happy for you. Tons of congratulations to Noelle. Nancy says, regarding depression, it is absolutely okay to call in for reinforcement therapy, nutrition, exercise, medicine. Yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. I mean, there's so many approaches to helping depression, and what helps one person won't help another person. There are different medications. What helped my depression is very different than, well, what is helping other people's depression. There's a scale of depression, you know what I mean? Like for some people, exercise is really what they need to flip that switch. Or it can be talk therapy or other kinds of therapy. It can be related to your diet. It can be related to all kinds of things. And medication can make all the difference. So getting that medical help for sure is the absolutely most important right thing to do. Lori says, the camaraderie of the society has made all the difference in coping during these times. All my friends are there to touch base with and make life feel more normal. Thank you for giving us this safe space to learn, grow, and socialize. Well, thanks for being there, Lori. I mean, all of you being there is why we can do this. Each one of you stunners is the reason that we have this community and the society. So without you, there would be no me. We all make it what it is. And so thank you for being there. And I appreciate all of you. And it's made a difference to me as well. Nancy says, I love lip scents too. By any chance, are you wearing Sheerberry or Napa? I'm not. This is Purple Rain and Plum. Cynthia says, your hair is beautiful. My hair is silver too. Well, thank you. My hair is not silver enough to like grow it out and be a silver fox. Like there's like an equator right about here, and there's zero silver back here. And then up here, it's all silver. I'd look like Victor Victoria if I grew my hair out. A Facebook user says the French drink water first thing in the morning. Well, can you get any better an endorsement than that? I think not. Emily says, I was going to mention this. I read the book, French Women Don't Get Fat, and this was her number one advice. Start your day with a glass full of water. That's such a good book, isn't it? It's so commonsensical and interesting, and I just love to read anything about the French culture. But that was a really good book. I enjoyed it, and it was positive. A Facebook user, I'm going to guess that this is Noelle. I can't see your name, but it says, oh my gosh, I just got on and I won. Yay, this makes me so happy. Well, Noelle, if that's you, then yes, you won. If you're Noelle Walker, I wish I could see your name, and I'm so glad it made you happy. It makes me happy to do that. So yay. And you don't have to, but I hope that you'll come on and post in the group and show us what you bought with your gift card, and we can all live vicariously through your shopping, because it's so fun, isn't it? So I hope you'll share. Nancy says, I am feeling better. Thank you so much, because you drank your water. Well, good. So as soon as we're done here, y'all, everybody will get a big drink of water. I just refilled my water bottle. I have a big 32-ounce one. I went upstairs to refill it before this, came back down without it. And I was like, oh, it was right when it was time to start. I'm so thirsty. I'm going back upstairs. I've already had full 32 ounces and I need more. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to get my water bottle and chug a bunch. A Facebook user says, that's so true. There's a study that says you are most like the top 5 people you surround yourself with. That's true. So you can also be the person that they're like. So be the antidote. And surround yourself with positive people. But, you can set the tone also of the people that you're around. A Facebook user says, this challenge was so much fun. I loved seeing everyone's looks. It was fun, and I loved it too. And you can keep doing it in the society. It doesn't have to end. You can join by going to stunningstyle.com/society and keep getting more of it. Yes, it's me, Noelle. Good. Well, good, because I would hate to be congratulating the wrong person. I will definitely post what I bought. Well, I look forward to seeing it. So that's going to be so fun. Okay, this was not supposed to go this long, y'all, but I did kind of go off on a few tangents, but they felt like important tangents. So I want to thank you for joining me today. And I want you to know that I think about you a lot. I've thought about you a lot, especially the last several weeks as I was creating the guide, and how could I help you this winter to get what you need from your wardrobe, and how could I create a wardrobe guide that would be helpful to you this season, because it is so important to get up and get dressed. And how can I make this a better winter for you, because it could be a hard one for us. We can choose for it to be a better one, right? And I hope that these tips helped. And I just want you to know that I think about you a lot, and how, and I don't want to say worry about you. You're not children, but I worry about all of us. I do. And I don't, anyway, I'll stop. But thank you for joining me. You mean a lot to me, and I appreciate you being here and being part of this community and what each of you contributes. And I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. I will be doing a special style snack again tomorrow at 1 p.m. So I hope you'll join me then. Someone says concerned, maybe. Yeah, concerned. Like I'm concerned about all of us. I know this can be a hard season anyway, and I have felt that myself. And so I want to provide any help or relief that I can, So Nancy says, we love you, April. Well, thank you. I love all of you too. And I appreciate you. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you again tomorrow at 1. And I hope I will see you in the society as well. You can learn more about that at stunningstyle.com/society. I'll see you tomorrow.